Hey, Skylar here from the Changeyoucanwear. And today we're going to be making something really special. We're going to be making another spinner ring out of an old Morgan dollar, but instead of the spinner being a Canadian large penny, we're going to be doing a 1/2 ounce gold eagle. And I have to put in a disclaimer in there. Some old coins were harmed in the making of this video.
Stop it. Get some help.
Also, don't forget about that complete toolkit giveaway that's going to be happening when we hit 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you check out this video right here and watch that video for the details on how to enter and win. I just got a call earlier this week from Jason at Jason's Works, the guy who makes most of my tools, and he's offering a complete master kit for this giveaway. So a big shout out to Jason and jasonsworks.com for stepping up for that. So you guys are going to get a really amazing kit. All right, let's get right into it. So we're going to cut some holes in our coins. We're using Jason's Auto Punch. For this Morgan dollar, we're going to go with a 5/8 inch hole. And that's because we want a little bit of a wider band. And for our gold eagle, we're going to be using a 1/2 inch punch. There we are. Now we need to clean up this hole that we cut here in this Morgan dollar, and we're going to be using the deburring tool for that. All right, time to anneal this. Just want to heat this up till it's just barely a dull red, and that's going to soften the silver so we can actually work with it without it cracking or splitting on us. About like that. All right, nice and softened and ready to start folding. We're going to be using this tool. This is a 1-ton arbor press, and we're going to be using the 1.5 side of the 17-degree die. We want to fold it to where the date will be on the inside. So we're going to put the date on the top, and then we're going to press down. Okay, we'll get about halfway, about like that, and we will stop and re-anneal. And every time we're done moving the metal, I like to re-sand this cut edge just to make sure we're not going to have any cracks forming. So sand the inside of that edge and the outside. For this second fold, we're going to use this cone. It's not a steel one, so that way it won't damage the detail when it starts to hit it. Back to re-annealing. Now what we're going to be doing is Swedish wrapping. We're going to take this coin, wrap it in about 25 to 30 wraps of Teflon tape, and then extrude it through these dies back here. These dies are a lot more straight walled than the ones we normally use, and those allow the coin to shrink as it gets shoved down in the die. Alright, so we've pressed it down pretty far in this die, so far that it started to just barely come out of the bottom. So we'll take it out, this is what we have, and we're going to turn it around now and press it the other way to make the walls nice and straight. Other side is starting to look like it's going to come out of the bottom, so that's where we're going to stop. And now we're going to make the 1/2 ounce gold eagle into a ring. So what we're going to be doing right now is stretching this 1/2 ounce gold eagle to about the same diameter as the Morgan dollar we just made. So the diameter of the narrowest side of this matches that. So we're going to straighten this side out by reducing it in a 17-degree die. Alright, that is going to work for now. So what we're going to do now is cut the rim out of this thing a little bit so that way it's more even on the inside, and we'll be able to spin freely on this Morgan when we get that cut. And then sand the inside nice and smooth. So now we have our two rings finished. and we're going to cut a groove into this one now for this ring to ride in. And the first step here is just removing that outer detail so you have a nice smooth band. You know, a lot of people were asking in my last video if we could just leave the detail on there. And yeah, I just like a nice smooth finish. The detail, most of it gets wiped out anyway when you cut the channel. I'll add a picture of one here that I did without cutting the outside detail. And just so you guys know, I get this expanding ring mandrel for the lathe from Wildwood Design, and their website is bangleguy.com. So go check them out. And now that we have this channel cut out, I'm just finishing it off with a little sandpaper. So I'm starting with a 220 grit sandpaper, then I'm going to move to a 320 grit sandpaper, and then up to a 600 grit sandpaper, and then finally up to a 1200 grit sandpaper. And that's just getting all the lines and grooves and everything out and getting it nice and polished. We have our channel all cut in this thing now. Right now there's a sharp edge inside because that lip of that coin needs to be removed and rounded out. And that'll make a nice comfort fit inside of this band. And we do that again with the deburring tool. And we'll sand it with some sandpaper again just to get any marks out the deburring tool might have left. All right, now let's measure this channel and fit our gold coin to it. We're going to take our micrometer and measure this channel. And once we have it just about snug, but it can still slide, we're going to lock it in at 23.96. I'll lock this in place so it still fits there really good. And now what we're going to do is check our gold coin on the other side to see if it can spin freely. It's just a tiny bit tight. So what we're going to do is throw it on the string stretcher reducer and make sure it spins freely. Just a little tiny bit at a time, not too much. Now we have something perfect. Now that we're pretty confident that these guys are going to fit together, we're going to put an antique finish on this one. And now what we have here is some XL gel. It's liver of sulfur gel. We're going to put about a drop or two of this into some water. We're going to put our ring in here for about a minute. And what that's going to do is going to darken it and give us that antique finish that we're looking for on the inside of the band. And if you look really closely, you can see it starting to slowly turn black. Alright, so that's what it looks like coming out of the liver of sulfur. And now what we're going to do is take some 4-0 steel wool and take some of that back off so we have the detail that we'll see on the inside, and then clean this outside off. Beautiful. Let's move ourselves to this one now. So this is the way we left it when we were finished doing it, and that's all we do with the gold. Because the gold's so pure, it's really hard to get an antique finish on it. So this is about as good as it gets. And now what we're gonna do is take some of that back off with the 4-0 steel wool to reveal that detail that's underneath. Let's go back to the ring stretcher and join these together. So what we're going to be doing now is taking this coin edge side and putting it in one of these dies back here. That way we can slide this gold eagle over the top of it, and then we'll expand this back and it'll be captured and we'll have a completed ring. Alright, you can see this side is a little smaller than that side now because we've been reducing it, and I think it's about right for that to fit onto there now. Let's take a look. Yeah, there we go, just fits. Now what we're going to do is go to the 1-ton arbor press and stretch that side out with a cone. And the key here is we're going to find a die that this coin does not fit into, so that way it'll just sit over the top and we'll have somewhere for our cone to go as we press. All right, that is on there and spinning. Right on. Now time to polish it up. And we're going to be using a disposable jewelry wipe for that. All right, there you have it. A completed Morgan dollar ring with a gold 1/2 ounce eagle for a spinner. And if you wanted to order this ring or any others that I make, you can check out my website, Changeyoucanwear.net. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.